Sup dudes, welcome to another short. Let's say you just got home, you're a bit tired, but you still have to cook dinner because you're a big boy who pays bills and pushes his own wheels. My go-to is actually just straight up salmon, paired with some green shit with fiber in it to keep it all moving along. But the issue with salmon is that when you cook it conventionally, it's quite smoky and it covers your entire apartment in a layer of fish oil, and that's not very nice. It's kind of difficult to clean sometimes. During my years in this apartment, I've developed a method that reduces the amount of smoke while you're cooking your salmon and circumvents these minor issues as well. You ready? Let's go. Let's go cook some salmon. So let's say the first thing that you forgot to do when you got home was to take the fish out of the fridge to let it all come to temperature. With this method, it doesn't actually matter that much because what we're going to be doing is to be cooking it at a low temperature for slightly longer and covered as well. So that way it allows our entire fish to come to temperature in a more uniform manner. The lid actually has a secondary function as well, because when you're cooking salmon conventionally, you're using high heat with oil in it, right? And the oil spatters everywhere. So to save you from having to clean your entire kitchen after cooking one fillet of salmon, we're going to put a lid on it to help it catch everything. Now, I'm not going to say something as inflammatory as this method of cooking salmon is better than or as good as the conventional way of cooking. Because frankly, the conventional way of cooking salmon is a bit crispier, it's a bit more aligned to people's expectations of what perfect salmon should taste like. But this gets close. This gets real close. And for the price of not having to clean your entire kitchen and apartment for cooking one piece of fish, I reckon the utility from that is worth it. This is the process that I'd recommend for early professionals who want to spend time doing other things that young people do. I don't know, like watch anime titties, jerk off. I don't know, I'm really old, I'm kind of out of touch. I don't actually know what's cool nowadays. All right, enough talking, let's go. Right, now the first thing that we want to do is to heat up our pan. Nice. The temperature we want our pan to be at is medium heat. So we're going to dash a bit of oil into it. And when that starts shimmering, turn it down to medium heat. But in the meantime, we're going to season our salmon. Now, seasoning your salmon's easy. It's just pretty much whatever you like. For me, I just like salt and pepper. That's pretty much it. So salt only on the skin side, and then on the flesh side, salt, and a bit of pepper too. We'll still have to turn out our range hood though. My one's a bit underpowered, kind of sucks. Actually, it doesn't suck, which is the problem. It makes a lot of noise without doing a lot of sucking, so we'll still have to turn it on, but I suppose this is a method that makes it ideal for that. All right, let's turn it down a bit. You could tell when your oil is ready from when it starts running a bit more like water and when there's like ripples over the surface, when it starts shimmering. Now, we don't want smoke to come out of the top because that'll be too hot. So this is a perfect sort of like semi-medium temperature. Oh, the smoke's starting to come out a bit. Let's put the salmon in. So, salmon into the pan, and immediately just put a lid gently over the top with a bit of a crack on it, and then turn it up to like half heat. So what the lid's doing at the moment is that it's stopping the oil from splattering everywhere and also reflecting some of that heat downwards back into the fish so that it allows the entire cord to come to temperature at a slightly slower rate. So while that's going, we'll just prep the broccoli. Yeah. Now, let's have a look. All right. Turn it over. Plonk it back on. Alright, cool. And then leave that there for about a minute. And then it's time to turn it over. Alright, there you go. And then back on for another minute too. Beautiful. Cool, we're gonna prep our broccoli now. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna dump out some of that oil and chuck the broccoli straight in with a bit of water. Put the lid on it to help it steam. It doesn't matter if it sits up a little bit. And we're going to do it for 3 minutes. Right, while the broccoli is going, we're going to let the salmon just sit there and rest a little bit because it's still actually kind of cooking while it's resting on a plate. You want to serve it presentation side up. So whatever side you want to be crispy, be it the flesh side or the skin side, have that facing upwards so it doesn't sit in its own juices, you know? Just into the bowl. Go on. For that, we're going to give it a little bit of decoration. Just carelessly, with a whole shitload of oyster sauce. Yes. Nice. Alright, I'm going to show you the way how to figure out how your salmon is done or not. So, it requires you to touch it a little bit. When you touch down here and you see the sides bow out a little bit, that's still raw. But, if you touch it and it's slightly elastic and it bounces back a little bit, that's perfectly cooked. Whereas, if you touch it and it doesn't bounce at all, it's just hard, then that's probably overcooked. And people who eat their salmon well done, I don't trust them. In terms of how much time that's spent in the pan, it's spent about 3 to 4 minutes on the skin side, and then 1 minute each on the top side, left side, and right side. So roughly about 6 minutes in total. And now I'm going to dress my salmon in the way that I like best, with a frankly ridiculous amount of honey and some sesame seeds as well. Alright, moment of truth. If this comes out at a doneness level that's not perfect, I'm going to look like a big dickhead, aren't I? Let's figure it out. You know what? I think it's a touch over medium rare, closer to the medium side, but that is still, I think, A-okay. Oh. Still juicy, tender, delicious. And that's how to cook salmon without so much smoke. Now bugger off, I've got dinner to eat.